Samuel, I want to ask you about your club. I want to ask you about Liverpool's performance today, please, bro.
That was Slot's fault. The lineup was wrong. So imbalanced. You put Verts left wing, Szoboszlai in the cam, and Conor Bradley right back. What you had at the start of the second half was exactly how we should have started. Gakpo left wing, or Chiesa left wing, which I've been saying for time. Verts in the midfield, and then Szoboszlai right back, because Szoboszlai at right back has been playing very well. And we actually created more chances at the start of the second half than for the whole game. For me, there's too many performances now where we have started off the wrong way. And that's on Slot and his tactics. Now, I'm not going to get onto him because he's won us a league and he's done great things for us. But he needs to figure this out very quickly. Because on transition, I mean, Crystal Palace were brilliant today. The way they defended was absolutely brilliant. I'm not going to lie. I was even scratching my head thinking, where are we going to fashion a chance from? The way they defended. But the way we're getting run through because of certain guys going up, Conor Bradley was annoying me today. Konate was annoying me today as well. We're just losing the ball unnecessarily. Obviously, when you have Verts that is at a left wing, I'm not gonna get onto him as well. He was put there, but he's not fast enough. Where you could have bought a Chiesa or even a Gakpo on left wing to balance it out. And you just got a whole load of mess that first half. That was the worst first half performance I've seen for Liverpool for over 2 years. And that says a lot. We could have legitimately be losing 4-0 at halftime. 4-0. And that's even me putting it nicely. We cannot, and especially against Chelsea, and I know Elijah said he's worried about his team against us. But I'm even slightly worried about us against them. Because you know how Chelsea like to play...
Hold
on.
Okay, Elijah, who are the two centre-backs that will play against us next week? No, just so Samuel knows. Who's the two centre-backs?
Let me tell you. Hato and Josh Ajpong, because there's no Chalobah, there is no Fofana, there is
Samuel,
no
I'll be honest with you,
Levi.
if we cannot beat Hato and Ajpong, we don't deserve the league. That day, we don't deserve it.
You guys are winning. I do not care. I don't have faith in this team anymore because it's done. I do not want to hear it. It is done. Everything about Chelsea, the title is done. If you do not beat Liverpool, then I'll be very surprised because we are fucking awful.
We are bad today, but we weren't this bad.
What I'm trying to say is that what Chelsea like to do, especially when it comes to us,
the low block,
they like to defend.
Yep.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying Chelsea are good. I'm with you. Chelsea are not good. But when it comes to us, they like to drop in deep. Pause. But you know what I'm talking about. So, and Chelsea like to turn up against us. That's all I'm saying. Game state. That's all I'm saying. Chelsea, I know they're bad. I understand. I get your rhetoric. They're going to have two centre-backs that we're hardly going to see this season once their main centre-backs are back. However, that's what I'm worried about. Them being going on the counter-attack against us. If Slot doesn't get the lineup right, then we're going to concede more goals. We're going to drop more points. I'm not saying we're going to lose a lot. We're not going to lose a lot this season. But drawing a lot, yes, that's going to happen. That's all I'm saying.
Do you know what I find very interesting about this? I'd love to throw this to Seb for a moment because we've kind of gone a little bit away from the game and onto the wider talk. You've got to win tomorrow now as an Arsenal fan. I get it. But this is why I think I've been a little bit, maybe with Chelsea, because they've actually had like the results have been getting worse and the performances haven't been good. But this is why I've been a little bit miffed at football fans just completely writing the season off after 5 games. I'm not saying Liverpool fans are doing that now, but they're pointing out flaws and holes. There's been elements in the games they've won that could maybe be exploited if they don't improve later in the season. This is kind of why I haven't really understood this season, why there's been so much doom and gloom around your club, Arsenal. I mean, you might go and lose tomorrow and then Liverpool absolutely get off the hook as an example, but we're 6 games into the season. Liverpool were never going to go invincible. They were never going to go the whole season without dropping points, at least. Like, if let's be honest about it. Why do you think so many people, every time someone loses now, everything's just straight to, that's it, it's all written off, all finished, all over?
Well, I'm pretty worried about going to Newcastle anyway, because we're shit against Newcastle away. But
I don't know, but I'm not surprised by the result. Liverpool's record at Palace, everyone has a bogey team. I think people go well over the top. Was so early. That's why the last show I came on, there was so much criticism towards Arsenal. And it was like, is this the end of the? I was just like, it's so early. Every team has new players that are bedding in. You can see that with Wirtz. I think his confidence will pick up. But people, it's just so reactionary these days. But just because that's what works on TV, social media, it's clickbaity. They want the headlines. So I think that's just the way, unfortunately, things are going. I think with Liverpool today, Liverpool, they lost the midfield battle, particularly on that left-hand side. Wirtz didn't work on the outside. The Crystal Palace are so physical in there as well. When you have someone like McAllister, he's brilliant on the ball. He's very technical, but he does get out. He got out-muscled in the midfield. Konate had another bit of a dodgy game today. Van Dijk had not a great performance either. I think he just mixed around with it a bit too much, especially for a game away that Liverpool are always dodgy in. So I do think he risked it a bit too much. And let's be honest, Palace could have scored more than that. Their XG, they had nearly 3 XG today. Palace are a superb side. They're a fantastic side. I think if you're a Liverpool fan and you're completely going mental over this, then you just need to relax. You're not going to win every game. Selhurst Pass away is a hard fixture.
Do you know what I'm going to say to that? I fully agree with you, because Crystal Palace are going to take a lot of points off other teams. I'm not worried. I'm not worried about that. But my thing is it was the performances over a few games now that has come up to this one, and it's more of like, okay, when you face a good team in Palace that do that low block very well, what's going on? And then Slot and his changes that he made today did not help the cause at all. It is 6 games in. I already said Liverpool are not going to go invincible. We're going to drop points. Like, whoever thinks we're going to go invincible was deluded. However, I need to see some changes from Slot, especially with his tactics for the beginning of games, so that we don't have to always change it up in the second half and then try to get the last minute winner.
Yeah. I think the thing is, with the performances, I think this was coming. I think everyone knew it was coming. I think Liverpool will start to get better the further the season goes along. But even under form, the underlying metrics, Liverpool were outperforming their XG. They were outperforming any statistic they had. So this fixture was coming. At least you can get it. It is Palace away. If I was a Liverpool fan, that's the only thing I'd be worried about is the underlying stats haven't been great. They've been winning games very late. And even from, I'm a betting man. If you're looking at statistics, you want to look at a team that has consistent numbers over and over again, and you're seeing consistent patterns. Whereas with Liverpool this season, you haven't really seen that at all. But I do think it's down to the large amount of turnover Liverpool have had. And I don't think Schlott kind of knows what his first starting 11 is yet, because obviously Ekitike has been fantastic. He's probably been their best player so far this season. He wasn't available today. Isaac just clearly looked like he hasn't had a pre-season or anything like that. So the underlying metrics don't look good, but I think as the season goes along, they'll be fine. Huh?
Why are they conceding so many chances? Why are they conceding? Why is Wirtz not performing?
Because you know what's so mad? I can answer that.
Wirtz can't fit in the formula.
We've actually had a starting 11 that worked for 2 games. I don't know why he changed that. Because when it came to Arsenal and Burnley, even though the attacking performances weren't as great, but we managed to get over the line, defensively, we were very good. So, and that was because Szoboszlai was at right back, and he was helping that a lot, and Van Dijk was doing amazing stuff as well. So this is why I'm saying in this game, why has he now changed that?
I think
what we had today.
Well, when you look at most of Liverpool's, just to go back to what Hamza said, most of Liverpool's goals they've conceded this season has been on a transition because they're very front foot. So this is why I was talking when we were talking about Gravenberch before. Gravenberch is a fantastic player, but when people were saying he's the best CDM in the world, I think games like this shows, because when Liverpool are in a transition, he doesn't necessarily have the pace to get back into position. He's not going to cover all the. He's not like a Kante or a Rodri where he's going to dominate that midfield pretty much on his own. That's not Gravenberch's game. He needs that partnership with McAllister in there. So when people did say that before, and I was like, I don't think he is, and I got shot down a little bit. But I think today shows that really. But I think Liverpool will be fine. They're going to lose a game, and it's Crystal Palace away. It wouldn't surprise me if Arsenal go there, Man City go there, Chelsea get there. They drop points there. Well, obviously Chelsea nearly dropped points to them earlier in the season. They're a fantastic side.
Just the number of goals they concede is a lot. They're conceding a lot of goals. I didn't even expect this. I don't know whether it's Konate's got his head at Real Madrid. I don't know. Van Dijk is a special defender. Whether Keke's is not the quality. Why are they conceding so many goals?
The thing is, I can answer that. If you look at a lot of goals that Liverpool conceding, it's actually due to unnecessary mistakes that we have been making. Unnecessary mistakes. So today, the goal that we conceded, even though it wasn't a corner, fair enough, you still have to defend the corner. Gravenberch, full control of the ball, heads it back into the danger area. That doesn't make no sense. If you look at the other goals that we have conceded, Konate being a bozo, Kirkes was a bozo against Newcastle, if you remember, when I don't know what he was doing against Bruno for that goal. So a lot of goals have been unnecessary mistakes that we have been making. So for me, it's more of like, if we can cut out these unnecessary mistakes that we're making, then you will see a lot better from us. However, we are still getting cut through, which is, I'm thinking, this is a slot issue that he needs to change.
Well, I'm pretty sure, correct me if I'm wrong, it might have been after the Atleti game. Schlott literally said in an interview, not the exact words, but we're going to try and outscore the opposition. I think that is part, because Liverpool are so strong up top, that's kind of what they've been doing so far this season. It has worked so far. I think today was just a bit of an off day, because this was definitely, even though they've been patchy, this is definitely the worst performance by a mile.
No, it was off day.
Yeah, but look, they're going to pick up again. This happens to everyone every season. Like the best Manchester United sides in the 90s, they lost games away to like the Stokes, and it just happened.
It did happen. Southampton away was a horrible one for us. I look at it this way: why they can listen. No team in the Premier League is flawless. I don't think there's a single team in the world at the moment who is flawless. That you look at, we've had a Barcelona team for a few years. City were kind of like that for a few years in the Prem. I'm talking in the last 10 years, there's been one team in England, and Liverpool had that 1 year with Klopp where they were almost impossible to beat. By and large, teams can be got at, teams are gettable, they've got flaws to their game, and most sides in the Premier League are susceptible to counterattacks nowadays. Most teams. It's the reason why, Hamza, you have become a more pragmatic team, because every side, barring mine, which is annoying, look at the athletes in teams. If you actually just look at Palace, I was watching Palace today. Someone said, "Oh, Oliver Glasner, I'd love him at United." I went, "Yeah, I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind him." But look at the speed, power, and pace in that Palace team compared to Man United. Look at their backline. He wouldn't get the same results because it's not even about the technical ability of some of those players. Because I don't like Sarr's a great example. Is Sarr an amazing footballer? No. He makes a lot of mistakes on the ball. He overruns it a lot. His first touch can be poor. But what he does have, which is important in the Premier League in 2025, is he has amazing athlete. He's a good technical footballer. I'm not saying he's got no technique, but he has amazing presence. Rooney was speaking about Mateta, saying he can be a little clumsy sometimes and he can make mistakes. But the way he ragdolls defenders, it's so important.
He can hold up the ball so well as well.
And I think most teams are susceptible to counter attacks and conceding in that way. And if you guys, City, would have opened up a little bit more against Arsenal instead of sitting in a low block, their speed and their power on the counter attack would have like blasted through you. And this for me is a good thing. I almost don't want Liverpool to fix it. I want no one to fix it, because it's amazing watching football matches where the best teams in England can lose and can concede those kind of goals. I don't want to go back to... So one thing, listen, it's no disrespect towards Pep. It's a preference thing for watching football. Pep's best teams annoyed me because the games weren't competitive. I appreciate how amazing they were at football, but a Pep team would go 2-0 up, not give away the ball, and we'd all sit there. Well, we wouldn't sit there because it weren't our team. We'd turn the fucking thing off. You know what I mean? We'd turn it... Oh, it ended up 4-0, did it? Who cares? No one was watching. And that's not a dig. These games now are far more entertaining, so I hope it doesn't change. But that's all it really is. I think every team in the Premier League is susceptible to counterattacks, all of them. So the more you attack, that's why your manager has changed, personally.